Well, I don't know what will I talk about. That's the mystery, you know. God, you could say that God is the topic, but God is everything. It's not something that you can actually speak. So the honest answer is that I don't know, and it would be presumptuous on my end to pretend that I know, right? Because we should be honest and admit that we don't know, right? We don't know the future. We don't know what will happen. We really don't, right? And you know this, yeah? You can understand that this is true, right? You can have thoughts about the future, but then when it happens, it goes against or in favor of your expectations, right? But every expectation is about your past experiences, and they are not reliable because the future is completely independent of the past. Which denomination? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm Christ. Okay? I'm not sure if you can see because you are okay. You don't have the description that I wrote in the other sheets. So there is if you go to the I don't want to say this because then I will have to repeat myself. Let me see. Oof. What? Why the oof? Yeah, I cannot give or write descriptions in Kik. I try to discuss with other religions and they ban me. Yeah, like a religion is a framework, right? A belief system. And beliefs, they fight with each other, right? But all of them coexist within God. Yeah? And God gave rise to the religions, but they contradict each other in some ways, and that's why they fight, because there are actually contradictions and each of them is right in their own way, but it's not through an idea of God that you can convince people, you know? It's always, the truth is always independent of any thought, any belief, and it's dependent on God and love, because God is the duality. Not it doesn't seem like it is a duality, but it is in a sense of truth and love. and they should be together. Yeah. And people forgot about love, and they are on a quest to find the truth, and they want to be the ones that have, if I do the right thing, I already believe in God, no matter what his name is. That's just it. It's just doing the right thing. Everyone knows what's the right thing. And the most important thing is to be humble and to admit one's own mistakes. You say, oof again. That's the difficult part, right? We don't want to be wrong. But we are. Everyone is wrong about everything. Yeah? Everyone is actually wrong about everything, right? And this is what I know. Okay? Relief. Why do you, because of the what I said about the recognitions of your own mistakes? Yeah, it's a relief, right? Because that means that whatever you do, it's acceptable, it's part of the process, it's a stepping stone for your self-recognition as him, because you can always forgive everything, whatever happens. And whatever the mistake, you can always forgive, because God exists within you. But the problem is that some people or some beings can assume, right, that God doesn't exist, and then they can act on it, right? And that's what it is called. It's what's the name of it in English? It's not the capital sin, or is it? You know, when you reject God completely and you act on it, then you do something which you cannot forgive yourself for doing it. I glance at the Holy Scripture sometimes. You just need a moment of honest introspection and reflection to see that if you really want, you can think about your life and your behavior toward others, and to admit to yourself that, yeah, that was wrong. Even though it seems like I have justifications to do what I did, right? Which is always the reason why we sin. They give us reasons to sin, and then we do it, and we think that we had a reason for it. There is never a justification for sin or for sinning. Never, 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 never. So if you do it, even if you think that's justifiable, you should assume the mistake, right? And you should be honest with the other that you had that ill intention towards. Yeah. And this is something that we can all do, but we just need to be remembered about this. Fix you don't fix them later. that doesn't happen, you know. It's never in the future. The future doesn't exist, and that's the excuse, you know. You things come up in the present with awareness, you know. You become more conscious, and you start to realize that, yeah, I was lying to myself with regards to this or that, and then you assume the mistake, and you say, yeah, okay, that was a bullshit justification, and yeah, I see it clearly, and I cannot pretend anymore, you know. And I don't know. Yeah, yeah, it's you react, basically. It's the problem is the temptation to blame something or someone, right? It's like, at least you're blaming yourself in this case, but your own emotions, right? But it's already something to put responsibility over, in a sense. You have to assume your own emotions, what you're feeling, and to take it all in, you know. The problem is the blaming aspect, and like it's, you can't do anything about it, actually. You cannot even blame yourself for blaming others. It's no one's fault, right? This experience that we are all having in this moment was not caused by anyone or anything. Yeah. And with this recognition, we see that wherever is the state that we are feeling, no one caused it. It's just what's happening, and it's no one's fault. It's impersonal, you know. Doing what's right is good, but it requires emotional control. I guess, yeah, it's not control, it's the relinquishment of control. Because when you try to control something, you lose control. Yeah, that's when you become agitated, angry at someone, and you look like you are losing self-control. So to have control, in a sense, you have to let it be, right? And to not control anything, you know. um, universal norm helps to. I'm not sure. It's not something that helps, it's just the truth. It's no one is doing anything, so how can you blame someone, right? Neither is mine. I'm not. My mother language is Portuguese, so. But we know enough to speak, to understand each other, right? Which is what God wants, yeah? And that's how you can reach God and know God is through understanding, right? That's how you can know myself as Him, and that's how you can know yourself also as myself and as Him. Nice. Okay, if you say so. It's a nice country, calm country. No, not. It's. Well, I don't want to enter into comparisons, but. So, what I'm here doing, when you say you hold me, who is the you that you're referring? Because if you really know who I am, then it's done. Then you know the truth. And then you are free. Question: what has divided all religions when most come from the same source? It's basically Satan. Okay? So we are God. And there is the freedom for beings to reject God absolutely. And they have been living in our planet for these past millennia, and they will try to use God and claim authority over divine scriptures, so that they have power, yeah, so that they can control people. And that's what's going on. And they live among us. They put a facade, you know, of a loving person, so that they can attract you and bind you in love and use you for their own advantage, right? Because they see life as a game where they want to win, and for that to be possible, they have to kill God, right? It's a competition. There is no God, and they want to be the one ahead of the others, because with God we are all the same, yeah. And other religions seem so radical, and I just want to do what's right and hope that others will do the same. We can all it's not a matter of hope, you know. Hope doesn't change anything, and what changes is questioning, because when you question with an open heart, right, not trying to make the other person you know, entrap the other, or you know, just by questioning you can give opportunities for the other to tell the truth, and that can mean that they did something wrong or that they lied, right? And it's an active process, yeah. Because you always know when someone is not doing the right thing. Like, you can, but you shouldn't judge, you know. And so the only way forward is to question about it, right? And in the end, the other person will, if he rejects God, he will just simply leave. And you then gave an opportunity, and you are willing to have that question answered in the future, you know, for him to come back and to admit for his mistakes. Yeah, exactly. He has many faces. But it's like he's controlling people, basically, and he's using people's bodies, and so people's faces, to manipulate God. Yeah. That's what Satan is. Satan mocks God. Is incapable of creativity, because he is the destructor. He destroys and he uses, while God creates and gives freedom. Well, I didn't read the testaments. I was never interested in religions. I had my spiritual path, you know. I seeked God with all my heart, and I simply realized that I was Christ because I realized who Satan was. My life story. This is something that everyone that watches this should see, because I explained my life trajectory until this point, and at some point there was a big blackout in Portugal, Spain and France, and that only happened because they realized that I was back, that Christ was back. But for you to understand that story, you have to see the video, to go back to it's a 30-something minute long video, and if you see it, you will understand that, yeah, I am God, and the world will end soon, and that the blackout that happened was the beginning of the end. Yeah, I would like to tell you more, but I just don't want to keep repeating myself about this, you know. I suggest you to see the video. It's you see the website on top. It's there. It's the Alpha One. It's the first stream that I did. It was last year. And then you see it, and if you have any question, you can come back and we can talk about it. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, it's because in the end I speak with some people, but the main story is the full explanation of what happened is like 39. But it's really important for you to understand the nuances of the story. if you fully understand it, you will completely realize that I am completely innocent in all of this, you know, and my sister as well. And this is just the beginning of the mythical, archetypical journey of the hero that will save the princess, you know, that is being guarded by the dragon, which is her mother, you know, and you can understand all of that. It's no coincidence, you know. Nothing is a coincidence in my life story. Her mother's name being Thelma. Thelma, if you search, the meaning is desire, and the self-destruction of Satan, which is Thelma, is the end of desire. I was born in the we celebrate, like, you know, Halloween. It's like the witches' day in Portugal, and I was born exactly in that day, the witches' day. You know, there are many coincidences of this kind about my life. So it's not only the story, but the story is enough. You know, you can completely understand this just by watching the first 39 minutes of that video. No, not of my country, of my life. Of this is what's needed for you to understand is just what happened in my life after my father passed away until the blackout. Yeah. This is unrelated to my country's story. Besides the blackout, right? You can put that in that category, but I am a. What do you mean? Without, but it is God. It's not me. It's not you. That's the problem, you see. You think that I am a person, right? And I decided to give my life 2000 years ago for everybody's sins, but no, this was not something that I decided, just like my own life right now. It was just something that happened, just like your life, right? It's exactly the same. You didn't choose any of these, right? And it comes with the full recognition of that, this realization, and it's not a personal one. You can't say that it starts from me and it started from me 2000 years ago, but the recognition is that it starts in everyone also at the same time, right? Because there is no time, and we are God, and time exists in God. Yeah. So maybe you want to see the video now. I also have something to do. No one is saying anything besides you, so I can just work on this. Yeah, it's all thanks to God. Yeah, that's right. It's thanks to me as God. If you think it like that, that's right. Yeah, it's not something that a human does. I'm just a messenger, right? And I'm not more or less special than anyone else because that's the message. The message is that we are all the same. And those who think they are not and that they are above the others, they are going to hell. Purgatory is the relinquishment of control. It's the death of the ego that the spirit attached itself to because we think and we thought, we felt like we were individuals and that we were separate. The realization that God is what we are and that we are not our ego will naturally have a release, emotional release, yeah, with crying and all that. And that release can be also said as the purgatory. So it's the next stage before heaven on earth. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, that's the imagery that we got from religion, right? That was intermediary, and it is actually it's an intermediary phase between heaven and hell, but it's more than that. To try, to try harder, no, you don't. You just need to stop trying. You know, it's a release. It's like. To go into what you don't want to feel, you know? And it's not something that you choose to do. It's something that you are naturally attracted to. And you see that there is some pain in me that wants some attention. That's why the pain exists, right? It's a cry for help. And if you see it like that, it's just, oh, you just want my attention. You want some love. And so you stay with it, you know, and you really feel it, and you don't abandon it, you know. You don't recoil again from it, and the physiological reaction is just to cry most of the time. No, you shouldn't avoid anything. That's the problem, because beliefs about what you should and should not, they do not correct anything. They are just blockages that will uh, push your attention to other things that you also shouldn't do. So it's you know, it's not your, this is not on your hands. Yeah, you can't do anything about it. As I said, this is God remembering Himself through you, as you. So it's not. It's a spiritual choice, and this choice happens when you consciously give your whole life to God. You say, all the sacrifice, everything I've done until this point, I will give it all for you. So that's the level of faith, in a sense, that you have to start this process. Does not give everything to God. Why? Why are you crying? You don't want to give everything to God, right? Gives everything to. But you know, it's God that gives you everything, actually, and these, maybe that's enough. you should give what you should give to the other when it's actually needed, and you know that's the right thing to do, right? But to give everything to God, in a sense, is to give what you should give to the others. Yeah, it ends up being the same because you start to have a clear discernment of righteousness, right? So yeah, I'm not sure if there is some confusion there about what God is and what it means to give everything to God, since, you know, we think about our possessions, right? And to give what we have to someone, but to give to God, that's a bit confusing maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I thank him for everything, especially for the bad things that happened to me. Especially for those. The other person comes first. Well, is that bad? It depends, right? His life is as important as yours. And, you know, it should come as first as yours, right? It's as important as yours. There is no first or second here, you know? It's just to what I said before, that you should give when you know that's the right thing, that the other person actually needs the thing, and that therefore that you should. But I forgive you. I forgive you for everything. I don't hold any. It doesn't, as I said, it doesn't matter what happens, right? I know it's no one's fault. And it's a good thing that some people, well, this may sound a bit confusing, but it is good that some people took action against God, so that we could learn this lesson that we cannot go against. We can go against his will, and we should respect others' freedom for doing that. And that's the lesson that we are all learning here on earth now. Yeah. That we should die for others' freedom. Yeah, you understand this? Does prayer help you? No. Really simple answer, right? Yeah, praying is satanic. It's a kind of desire, right? We should only pray for forgiveness, to have the capacity for forgive what's going on in our lives. But that's not how the prayer is framed in the Catholic world. I say something to God, but it's someone's. Yeah, exactly. You are speaking to yourself, right? When you speak to God, you have to assume separation. You have to assume that God exists outside yourself, right? And that he can only know what you want if you say it to him. But that doesn't make sense, right? If God knows everything, he should know what you want without you saying anything. So what's the point of it? Even if you think about it logically, it doesn't make much sense. Yeah, yeah, and that's the ego, that wants the superego, that wants to be in control. He creates this narrative about what's going on, right? And is made out of judgments that this is right, wrong, good, bad, should not be happening. And we create a story about those kinds of things so that we can feel in charge of our lives, in a sense, right? And we think about something, and then we criticize ourselves for thinking that, and we know that we shouldn't criticize, and then we criticize ourselves again. So it's an endless loop, and only God can take you out of it by realizing that you are not in the loop and you are watching the loop, and so you are already free from it. Yes. I'm just hoping that this is the right one, right? I don't know. It's a wolf. It's here. So let me hope. Yeah, we don't need to talk to anyone to know what's right, nor to any wolf. I'm sure you sometimes have doubts whether you're doing something right, how you're dealing with it, waiting it out, or making a choice. Um, any doubt that you have is a conflict between ideas, and this means that there is something underneath that you are not aware, and that it is truth, the truth that creates this conflict in a sense. Because God is simple, reality is the most simple thing. We can, I mean, yeah, that's if you are conscious of that, then you know that the reason why you're not doing something. If you know that you are refraining, then you are aware of that, right? You're not buying into the excuse for not doing that. And that's already a step in the right direction, right? Like you too. Um, oh wow. It's crazy, right? And to be honest, I don't feel like it's I don't feel that it is because of me in any way, it's because of God. And yeah, it's God that unites us and that allows us to open and to understand each other. um that's what he is. God is the identity which allows us to really understand each other. That's how we can hear someone's story, right? And to understand it as if it was ours, right? It's because of him. Yeah, yeah. It it's a miracle, you know, and the miracle of God it's something that grows, you know, and becomes more obvious. You allow him to show you the way, and he will do that. You just have to step out of his way and allow him to do the work. It's not a personal work, it's not your job to do God's work, right? Yeah. And doubts, like doubts are it's part of the process, you know. I on my shadow work, you know, or the purgatory, I like confusion, doubt was all pervasive, you know. Was my experience was very filled with doubt. I was very confused, but underneath all of that, there was some clarity that said that, yeah, that's here, but that's fine, right? Now you're seeing it. You were unaware of it, and that's why it's becoming obvious, you know? Yeah. Yeah, there are, it's a cliche, you know, but there are no stupid questions if they are genuine ones. The problem is comparing, and to believe that, oh, this question is a newbie question, it's a novice question, it's for someone that is starting, and you're seeing it from the standpoint of a race, or, you know, as if there are many paths to God, and this is a race to reach Him. While in reality, there is no path to God. Every path leads to God, and we are already in a path which is God's, going to God's, because everything is Him. So you are already there, believing that you are not. And when you believe that you make stupid questions, you know, but it's not true. No, you're not. It's the same. Satan is God. Okay? Satan is God in absolute rejection of himself. Okay? So he denies that God exists. And you it's the same, you know. Fearing Satan is fearing God, and you should love God, which means that you should love Satan. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you go to Satan and you hug me like that, but it's a respect, a deep, heartfelt, deeply felt respect that Satan is allowed to do what he's doing, right? Which is killing God. Yeah. but it is not a kind of God, only the bad one. It is, what I'm speaking is the universal truth, and it came with my realization as God. So I really know what I'm speaking, and it's literally this. It's God in absolute rejection of himself. So God is a paradox, because God accepts duality, as part of himself. But Satan, because he rejects God absolutely, he is a contradiction, okay? Which means that he rejects the duality, okay? So he just wants one side of it, and he rejects the other side. It's just so easy to take the easier path, but God is the easiest path. It's so easy, but so easy that you don't have to do anything to get it. Yeah, it's the most simple path possible. Yeah, yeah, he's only with God we can know him, and that's why I'm back. It's to make himself revealed to everyone. So when God knows himself as God, he will know who is against God. And me saying that I am God will make those that absolutely reject God to say that I am lying, that I'm not God, and they will just confabulate, They will pretend that they know something that they don't. Yeah? So that they can regain their power, because they know that the real power belongs to God. And if there is someone that is saying that he is God, they will lie so that he or me don't receive what they want, right? Yeah, the video. We are exactly like, even if you feel like you are not on the same page, I am with you. Okay, I never leave you. Like we can. Uh, um, what I want to say is that deep down we truly understand each other. There just needs to be a willingness for that to happen. You know? Yeah, yeah. Maybe tomorrow. Uh, does this kind of calming down help you? This kind of calming down. I don't know if what you mean by this kind of calming down. You are always calm if you allow the agitation. You know, if you allow your own experience to be as it is, then you can be feeling a very intense experience, and someone can be screaming at you, but if you allow that, then okay, that's you will be at ease. Um, I I don't do it for a reason. The meditation, the real meditation, is always happening. Should be always happening. You know, it's not some part of your day that you give it to meditate. Yeah. Meditation is just to be conscious of your own experience and to allow it to be as it is. Uh, and when I stop like I was before, like this, I was with my eyes shut, I'm just watching uh, what's happening, like thoughts and all that. And I'm not reacting to any of it, right? Um, as I'm not right now as well, you know. So it's not different. You have too much energy. Yeah, like, yeah, that's, I mean, um, it's a way of being where you use your energy in the right way. Yeah, it's basically that. Yeah, we all have a lot of energy to give every day, but we usually give our energy to useless stuff, right? Mind traps that go anywhere, don't go anywhere, right? Just a waste of our time. And this is just to be more conscious of what's going on and to give our attention to what truly matters, right? Yeah, you are probably talking about the Western yoga, right? With the poses and all that. Um, yeah, I never tried, so um, but the yoga is related to meditation, the origin of yoga, and with breath work. Um, so it all has the same origin. These practices. Yeah. Uh, yeah, it's funny because it's like you are giving a counterpoint. You're making an argument against what I was saying. Like, oh, so you are saying that I shouldn't be wasting my energy, but I'm running marathons and I feel great. It's like it seems like a waste, right? To just to run for no reason. But you know, exercise is really great for your health. We evolved exercising, and so it should be part of our routine. And I also exercise, and I feel like a hit. It's like uh, you know, I feel also more at ease after. I feel better. Yeah, so we agree. Yeah, yeah, and with more movement. At least you are not standing still in the same place. And if you want, you can also join the Discord. I created a channel for people to speak if they want, right? Of course. That's the logo that you can see downstairs, like in this overlay. In call, it says none. Maybe one day if you want. So you mean, what do you mean this is not real life? You know, life is real. Life is a reality. But what you see is not it. What you see is not reality. Yeah? So in a sense, there is no real life. With life meaning that your thoughts and your ideas about what life is, right? But it's undeniably real that you are alive and that God exists. So there is only one reality. I have to filter what I see. We've known these for generations. Yeah, there is a filtering happening. You don't do it, but it's there and it serves a purpose. But the filtering, when is not working well, you can see that it's not working well, right? Reality is distorted and it's confusing and you don't know. So you should investigate. And that's how you filter, by going into the problem, into the situation, to really try to understand it, so that it is finally completely filtered and clear, you know? Yeah. There is not a thing that is perfect. Everything is perfect, right? As they are. But we think about perfection of things as the thing being better, right? Being the best. And that kind of perfection doesn't exist. Everything is perfect because everything serves a purpose. God's purpose. And if someone tells you that, yeah, this will solve all your problems, right? Usually you feel like you're being scammed. That's not true, right? It's too good to be true. But that's what God gives, right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's the what the Trinity represents, in a sense, the reality, right? Usually people think that this is just a duality, but there is the shades, as you say, that are part of the reality. And yeah, in that sense, yes, there is God, which is perfect. Even in gray, you can make mistakes, but less. Yeah, you can always make mistakes, you know, it's part of our humanness. It's always happening. And we can't do much about it. We can just see them, accept them, and move forward. It's not a big deal, you know. But Satan tries to make a big deal out of your mistakes because he wants you to believe that you are flawed, that you are not God's creation, right? Because you are not perfect. And they will try to convince you that you are corrupted on your inside. And they use your human mistakes for that. Yeah? As if they were not supposed to happen. You guess. You don't need to guess, you can ask. Because the reality is that you are perfect with your mistakes, right? They are part of the perfection. I guess God has our fates written in a book anyway. Yeah, He just watches to see if we choose the right ones, and Satan just switches the switches. No, like Satan is part of His creation, and he is bound to believe that he has control and that God is to blame for his situation. He will never say that I am in hell because I did a mistake. Satan will always say that I'm in hell because God, because he knew everything, he knew that this was going to happen, right? And because of him, I'm in hell. It's his fault, it's God's fault, and that's why I'm so mad at him, right? But that's in illusion, it makes sense, but no one created it, right? It's no one's fault. And the Satan, the devil, cannot see that, and so he cannot forgive God. There is no one choosing anything. If you believe that you make choices and you can make right or wrong choices, then you will blame yourself for having made a wrong choice, right? Because it's a burden that you are putting on yourself, that it's in your hands to do what's right, right? But just give it to God. Let him choose. Okay. One must always agree with it. Yeah, it's the release of control, basically. And we agree with it because we know in some sense that controlling is not good, and that the one who tries to control is evil, right? Because we feel that freedom or giving freedom is inherently good. Yeah, it seems like it. That's why it was your favorite. Maybe. we resonate with the truth. Yeah. So this that I'm saying to you is not something that you are learning, right? But you are remembering. And you can remember God fully. And as I'm saying, is only by allowing, because that's how you meet God, is giving freedom, for Him to give freedom to you. You give what you receive. Yeah. It's difficult because of all the dogma that exists, all the people that try to sell you some truth, and it always feels that it is somewhat incomplete, but because God is here and His truth is absolute, you can fully understand it. You can fully be guided, and that's a possibility in your life, in everyone's life, and that's why I'm here. Was that the one that you quoted, the poet? Yeah, there were many beings, many people showing us the way. But it's curious because the reality is that the absolute truth was only spoken 2000 years ago, because to really speak it is to say that I am God. And if this truth is exposed and people know it, that we are all united in God, right? Then there is these ones that are here on earth controlling, that will do whatever they can to avoid it. And that means to kill God, to kill the one that says that he's God, right? And so God has always been present in people's lives, but the truth wasn't spoken as it is being spoken by me again right now. And This means that I am willing to give my life for the truth, for God again. I'm willing to die for my words, for my freedom of speech to say what is the truth and what we all should know. And the difference is that now they have to they have to find me, to kill me, and that's not easy. So that's why this time will be different. Yeah, but uh, you can believe in a lie and die for that, right? And dying for God is dying for the truth. Um, Beliefs, we can die for beliefs uh, if we believe that, for instance, we'll get something better in return, right? Uh, People died for their tribe, their own people, that was a really common thing to happen. But that disregards the truth that the ones that they are killing and that they are uh, willing to die in an attempt to kill are God as well. And that's wrong, right? It's an harsh truth that we've been ignoring uh, since all this time. Yeah, and we had to, and it made sense. But it's it requires us to believe in the illusion of separation, that the others are different than us. But there is no separation in life. Doesn't matter which life it is, we are all the same. We are all a creation of God. And so it's um, we should respect every way of or every type of life in the same way. Yeah, we shouldn't cause any type of damage, harm, or control to any uh, living being. keeps mixing up geopolitics, and people are not bad by nature. They are bad by nature. They are. I am bad by nature. I am good too. So that's what I mean is not that we are always bad. We can do bad stuff, right? But it's part of our nature, the duality of good and bad. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And it exists in anyone else. But some people will pretend that they are only good and that they only do good stuff, and they will pretend they never did anything bad. You naively believe that there are people in the first place, right? You don't see that the people that you think in reality are just thoughts. Yeah? That's what you don't see in the first place. And you know, everything is just a thought. I know I'm very wrong, but let me live in my utopia. the utopia comes from the recognition that we are good and bad, right? Because if we understand that we are bad, not that we are against God's will, right? But as a matter of fact of our nature that we are bad as well, then we can forgive those who are bad and who don't follow God's will. That's only possible because we can identify the other and say, yeah, that's bad. And we can only identify that because we have that in ourselves. There is not anything outside ourselves. Yeah? Please. So, and utopia that is about to come only comes through this recognition and through forgiveness. Yeah? It's by forgiving Satan that we cast him back to hell. Yeah, but that's because you, and that's what people of God assume as well. And that's what we should assume. We should always assume the good in the other, that the other is saying the truth, right? Because that's what we will do. It's your first contact. It is naive, but it should be naive, right? Because if it is not naive, then you are judging the person. You are assuming that person is, you are judging it as someone bad, him or her as someone bad, and you shouldn't judge anyone ever, right? You should always relinquish and give that judgment to God. And what will happen is that God, in rejection of himself, will judge himself to hell. So it is Satan that puts himself into hell, because God is all forgiving. He always forgives everyone. But the anti-God, the God that absolutely rejects himself, will not forgive. Never, right? And that's what the judgment is. Yeah? And he will judge God, but because he is God, he will judge himself, right? Thinking that he is judging God that exists only outside himself, because he separated himself from God in his own deluded illusion. Yeah, does this make sense to you? Because this is just a full picture that it comes together very consistently and in a simple way. It's something that anyone can grasp. You there? It's getting late here. I just wanted to say goodbye. Okay, you're here. For me, it's a miracle that I stayed in one place for so long. It's a miracle that the place is God and you have been there since forever, right? So it's not a surprise that you are here in this stream for so long. If you want to see the video to understand the reason why I am Christ, and we can't speak about it tomorrow because I am going to stream again. I will be keep streaming every day probably. So yeah, okay. Yes, I have it saved. I will watch it and probably look at it differently. Yeah. Okay. So see you tomorrow. Okay? I will end the stream. Yeah. Bye. Take care.